4 of life hacks in this video. One life hack is, and you've probably heard that tons and tons of times, is to drink water. Essentially, drinking helps not only your body, but your body needs water. So if you don't have enough water, your body will start to find ways which are, on a long-term perspective, not so healthy in order to get this water. Sometimes it can even result in saving water within the cells, which can, for example, lead to the fact that you have water in your legs, water in your hands, just because if your body doesn't get water on a frequently basis, it tends to save it for the days when you don't get so much water. So you can actually do great help, great support to your body if right in the morning when you wake up, you just, for example, drink a certain amount of water. So in order that this is not happening, so that you're basically letting your body know, here's the water, you don't need to save it. You will get it along the way, because I will remind myself throughout my day to drink enough water. And you can, of course, combine that also with tea. One thing that I found very helpful for myself, because I love coffee. I'm a huge coffee friend. So whenever I feel like I want to drink more coffee, even though I already had 1 or 2 cups a day, what I do is to combine it with tea. So, for example, I can show you actually. I'm not sure from which country you're watching from right now, but in Germany we have this brand is called Yogi tea. I'm not sponsoring or whatsoever. I just feel like that tea has actually been in my life ever since I started yoga. It's a recipe that is based on Ayurvedic food. So it's basically organic and no additions whatsoever. And so, for example, this classic one is a great combination for coffee. Because I can mix a little bit of tea and then just mix a little bit of coffee. And it actually tastes like a kind of a chai kind of thing. So try it out, see if it fits for you. And in case you should have that somewhere near, what I also would recommend in that sense is to smell on the tea. Most of the packages are closed, of course, before in the supermarket. But for some of them, like with the yogi tea, you can actually smell it and you get the sense of what it tastes like. So, for example, with this one, there's a strong note of cinnamon. So the smell can be also very helpful in order for you to detect what your body is actually currently asking of you. If you're smelling something and you don't like it, trust that feeling. That has a root and is actually your gut speaking to you. And just as you have this classic form, there are a lot of different other ones. For example, this one is herbs, like herbals, for detoxification. You have specialties also for, like, for example, for women. They are really creative with their marketing, actually. Or you have a tea that is called peace, that is good for the evenings, because I have to look up the words in English, but basically they have ingredients which will help you to calm down, So, for example, cinnamon is not so good. Cinnamon is, generally speaking, an aphrodisiac, which, of course, you can argue that to take that on the evenings too. But generally, cinnamon is something that pushes. whereas other herbs like camille, I believe it is called, like that flower, is more like calming, calming infections, calming inflammations, and calming your nervous system too. So just check out your nearby tea store, I guess, and find out which smell works for you. And maybe you can also find a way in order for you to maintain a healthy routine, for example, with your coffee routine. But maybe just add a little bit spice to it, like with the cinnamon tea, for you to maintain also a healthy balance in regards to the caffeine. Right. So 3, 4, we're 1, 2, 3, 4 topics in. So number 5 of life hacks of Kundalini yoga that you can do in your day-to-day life, even if you don't practice yoga, is to involucrate nuts into your daily routines. And with nuts, let me just do it like that. You have, for example, walnuts. Is it called like that? Walnuts? Very healthy, good for your brain, good for a lot more things that I could even possibly think about right now. But also here, I ask you to research that. They have a lot of oils. And as I said, are really good for the brain, especially if you need to concentrate. They provide your body also with energy. And if you start your day with nuts, or if you take nuts as a snack into your day-to-day, you will feel more energized because they will give you energy without draining you afterwards. To give you another example of that is if you eat a banana, for example. It gives you energy too. It has a lot of sugar. But the way a banana works in your body is that it provides you with energy, gives you magnesium, it gives you a lot of cool things for your body. It raises your sugar, and so does your energy level. But at the time when the sugar and the energy level is basically spent in what way or another from your body, this level, it goes down very quickly. So there's a peak, there will be a peak, and then you will fall to that. And that's why you're most of the times feeling that you're craving. You start to create or to feel a certain type of craving for sugar, for example, especially. So banana is great for if you do sports because it has a lot of magnesium. But if you want to keep that in mind and don't want to feel drained after you eat a snack, nuts, and that basically can be all sorts of nuts, can be a helpful alternative. Also keep in mind that some of the nuts, since they have specific oils in it, if you eat them, like it, as always, the dimension is important. So if you eat a lot of peanuts, for example, peanuts are not so healthy as a walnut. So peanuts are basically, the body doesn't extract that much from them as from other nuts. So it makes definitely sense to do a research and to find out which nuts are good for your specific situation. With the nuts, what comes with that, and I have touched on that a little bit right now, is the term or the usage of sugar. So also here I want to share you or show you something that you can do very, very easy, is the dates. I believe they're called dates, right? Dates. They don't look beautiful. There are other fruits that look way more pretty than dates do. But these are actually I can show you too. These are actually on a stick. So basically, here in Germany, you can get them dried like this ones on a stick, and then you can just eat them whenever you feel you want to eat them. So the good thing about dates, also not to go too much in detail in here, because I believe and I know that you can find a lot on the internet. But the reason why I want to put them into this video is because they provide you with sugar. However, there's an important difference for other fruits. This kind of sugar that they give you is not something that will be peaking and then falling off. Instead, the sugar that they give you is kind of a continuously sugar. They actually find their way into your body, where they provide you with a constant energy level, and they stick to it. And of course, you have to keep in mind that this is still sugar, but the focus on dates is that, as I said, the peak is not too high or too low. It just keeps continuing and keeps your basically helps you to regulate your sugar level throughout the day, which is actually great for breakfast. So I've started to make a fast time frame just with dates. And when I do that, I would eat 3 dates in the morning, not more than 3. That I like them a lot. But I really try to focus not to eat more than 3, because if you eat too much, it will be too much sugar, which is not healthy as well. But if you can find a good routine, and I've done the research, and like 3 would be good throughout the day as a maximum. If you start with 3 dates in the morning and you combine those, for example, with nuts, you have a really good foundation for your day. And if you do that for an amount of time, a certain amount of time, you will notice that you won't get so tired after having lunch, or especially where before you may be feeling a little bit drained or having lack of concentration. This will help you to maintain a steady routine, a steady concentrated mind, without feeling too much of a high or too much of a low. And actually, the good thing is, since they are dried, you can pack them and you can use them wherever and just have a snack. So it also works if you don't take it as a breakfast meal. So